What's up, everybody? Blood Moon Bobby here, and HBO Max has officially launched. From the time you're watching this video, it actually launched yesterday, and for today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the content, especially since over the last couple of months, I've been doing videos on reports on what exactly is going to be on HBO Max, because I've seen like some tweets on HBO Max's Twitter account, but it was really hard to get a grasp of what was really coming to the service, particularly on the first day, like an entire list of what would be available. So I wanted to go over particularly what is available on HBO Max in terms of content like Warner Brothers movies, Cartoon Network shows, Adult Swim shows. I think I'll also look at some of the HBO Max originals. I mean, obviously I can't, watch them because of copyright reasons, but it's just a general idea of what's currently available on the service. And by the way, since I know that there's a lot of talk about when HBO Max was released, it is available now in the US. In terms of international deployment, CNET says that the service will be coming to Latin America and Europe, and Latin America will get the service in 2021. So without further ado, let's actually go through what you can watch. So in terms of the feature, the first things you see this Carousel Not Too Late show with Elmo. I see Harry Potter. They do have, at least in terms of the original Harry Potter series, every Harry Potter movie, featured series, Big Bang Theory, Rick and Morty. I mentioned those in the past. Down here, these are the originals. I think, are these all the originals I mentioned in my prior video? I see Anna Kendrick's Love Life, Looney Tunes cartoons, Legendary, The Not Too Late Show with Elmo, On the Record, and Craftopia. Fortunately, Adventure Time, Distant Lands, and Close Enough are not available at launch. Those will be coming later down the line during the summer. Featured movies. It actually looks like it's got a pretty decent selection. I see Wonder Woman, Joker, Aquaman, Suicide Squad. It's matching in hopefully it matches up with what we've heard. It Chapter 2, Downton Abbey. I remember hearing about Downton Abbey from the Cineblend article that we looked at, Batman v Superman. So X-Men Dark Phoenix. So yes, the Cineblend article was correct. I see Casablanca. I mentioned Dark Phoenix was kind of interesting to me. I heard the movie itself is not very good, but it was because Dark Phoenix itself it's a Fox movie technically owned by Disney. So I was thinking that there was this possibility that it's not that with these new services like Disney Plus, HBO Max, and NBC Universal's upcoming service Peacock, it's not that they're completely going over to streaming services just yet, but the studios may release a few of their movies to their competing streaming services. So like in the case of Dark Phoenix, I think it's a case where Disney was like, we need to make some third-party revenue, so we'll put Dark Phoenix on HBO Max. So I'm very curious to see if we are going to see Fox and Paramount movies on Peacock when that service launches, and I'll be doing a video on that when that service launches. I see Hangover Part 2, Castaway, in all 8 Harry Potter movies. I don't believe I even mentioned this in previous videos, but yes, and I've seen most of the Harry Potter movies themselves. Strangely enough, to this day, I haven't seen Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I've seen Part 2 back when it was released because my family really wanted to see the final Harry Potter movie in theaters. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that much into Harry Potter nowadays, but if you are, good news for you if you subscribe to HBO Max. So HBO series, I see Game of Thrones, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Sopranos, Chernobyl. So at least in terms of like the initial offering, they do have quite a decent selection. Watchmen, Sex and the City, Deadwood, Silicon Valley. So, okay, so they do have a neat selection. They have these HBO Max hubs. I want to go over the collections that particularly cover content that I usually cover. If you want to check these out yourselves, feel free to, but I'm not going to do a whole thing where I go over like every single solitary movie on HBO Max. So We'll start off with Studio Ghibli because I think that was one of the first HBO Max videos that I did where they talked about how many of the Studio Ghibli movies are on HBO Max, and as you can see, yes, they are. I know it's kind of a divisive topic because I remember when I talked about when the Studio Ghibli movies were coming to HBO Max, it came with this sort of caveat that yes, they're coming to HBO Max, but you wouldn't be able to watch them using Netflix in the States, Canada, and Japan. I'm not sure if it applies to all three of these companies to this day, but I know in the States you can't watch Ghibli movies using Netflix, so I know it's definitely disappointing. I do wish we were in a situation where you could use either series, especially for people who weren't interested in subscribing to HBO Max, especially given its rather steep price. But yeah, you could see many of the Studio Ghibli movies. I've seen many of them myself, including Totoro, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle. Let's see ones that I want. Let's see. And speaking of which, I am planning to review some movies that are on HBO Max. As of right now, I don't really think I'm gonna do originals, but I am interested in reviewing some of the movies that are on the service. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know down below in the comments. I really do appreciate the feedback, and I'm really glad that the HBO Max videos on this channel have done pretty well. Some movies I'll probably check out. I know that my sis really wants me to see Porco Rosso. See others. I've seen Castle in the Sky. I know Castle in the Sky is one of my friend Steven's favorite movies. The Tale of Princess Kaguya, My Neighbors the Yamadas, Pompoko. You know, it's funny. I've seen a good handful of the Miyazaki movies. Like I've seen in My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service as a kid, but I honestly haven't seen a lot of the Isao Takahata movies yet. I've seen Grave of the Fireflies, which unfortunately isn't on HBO Max. I do recommend that movie if you want to check it out. But I do see here we do get a few other of his movies, My Neighbors the Yamadas, Pompoko, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. So might check that out when I start reviewing HBO Max movies. And if you see your favorite Studio Ghibli movie, please feel free to shout it out in the comments. So we'll go back. Let's take a look at Studio Ghibli Cartoon Network. So I really like to talk about Cartoon Network on this channel. First thing I do want to get out of the way, because I remember there were rumblings that people were concerned that HBO Max was only going to have the Powerpuff Girls reboot and not the original series, which would have really made me angry because I really don't like the Powerpuff Girls reboot. I've talked about it at length on this channel. But the good news is you can watch the original episodes of the Powerpuff Girls seasons 1 through 6 here. I've heard it said, I did watch a good amount of the Powerpuff Girls as a kid. I've heard people say that in terms of the Powerpuff Girls, I've heard people say that seasons 1 through 4 are like the good seasons, and 5 through 6 are when the show started to go downhill. What do you personally think of that? I have seen a couple episodes from those two seasons, like remember the Scream episode, and I think there was an episode where like the whole town is crying, and yeah, I didn't really like those episodes. But what do you personally think of seasons 5 through 6? Of the ones that I've seen here, I've seen Monkey See, Doggy Doo. I'm not gonna go through every single one that I have seen, but I will point out the ones that, to balance things out, I will also point out the ones that I do really like, because deep down I do really enjoy the original Powerpuff Girls series. Telephonies, I remember, was a good episode. Haste Makes Waste. I think I read a book adaptation, like there was like a storybook version of Haste Makes Waste that I read as a kid. I've never seen the episode in full. Bubble Vicious, where Bubbles basically just goes and beats the shit out of all the villains. The Rowdy Rough Boys, I think I saw a while ago. Uh-Oh Dynamo, I remember seeing as a kid. So it is good that the original series of the Powerpuff Girls is on HBO Max. I definitely would have been pissed off if it wasn't. In terms of other series, We Bare Bears is here, Victor and Valentino. I did trailer reactions of Victor Valentino a while back. I do think it's a pretty decent show. Check out Steven Universe. They have the entire season because I know that, or entire series because I heard Steven Universe just wrapped up. And do have the first 5 seasons of Steven Universe here, although I'm not sure if that's the entire series. If you're a Steven Universe fan, and please let me know down below in the comments. Foster's Home for Imaginary fan. What am I saying? Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I've seen several episodes of. I do remember that show. Craig McCracken, really awesome show. Regular show. It's possible that I could finish the final season here on HBO Max. Before HBO Max launched, I was finishing up the show using Hulu. So I'm kind of curious to see because Hulu does have a good selection of Cartoon Network shows, I'm curious to know if Hulu is going to be able to keep that library for a while, or if Warner is going to say, we want people using HBO Max, so I don't know. But I do hope that Hulu gets to keep for a while. Do you notice it's this featured series here, so maybe there's some that I haven't seen, but I do notice that seems like all the other Cartoon Network shows that are at least available on HBO Max are kind of spread out. I do see Ben 10 here, all the different Ben 10 series. Interesting. Oh, they do have a to Z list here. So, hey, they got Apple and Onion and Craig of the Creek, the Powerpuff Girls reboot, regular show, the movie. So, yeah. I heard. Yeah, I could tell that this isn't quite, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I should expect the entire Cartoon Network library here, especially being the first day. I'm sure because of licensing or because Warner wants to hold on to some of the other series for the future so that they have something to release later on down the line. Because I noticed, I'm looking here at the list, I noticed that shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog isn't here. OKKO, I remember hearing rumblings that OKKO wouldn't be available on HBO Max, at least on the first day, so it's not available now. Uncle Grandpa. I've watched a couple episodes of that show, not a fan. So, yeah, so they do have a decent selection of Cartoon Network shows, but it's obviously not the entire library there. Like, I didn't see Camp Lazlo, for instance. It's mainly the, I think it's mainly like the older shows prior to the 2010s that I'm not seeing as much. There's a few others that I could mention, but hey, Gabby, if you're watching this video, they do have Flapjack. If you do want to get HBO Max, I don't know if she's getting it, but okay, so that's Cartoon Network, and I'll look at one more for this video, and that will be Adult Swim, because I've been watching a couple Adult Swim shows. So that's where they moved Samurai Jack. I was thinking, where did they move Samurai Jack? But then it's like they moved it to Adult Swim, which makes sense. I know that, I think the final season was aired on Adult Swim, so that explains what was going on. So, yeah, if you're a Samurai Jack fan, there you go. It is on HBO Max. I do recognize, see, Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Home Movies, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, Metalocalypse. Let's see here, Robot Chicken, Rick and Morty. You're a Rick and Morty fan. Good news for you. The Boondocks. Let's see. Let's go for the A through Z list here. Oh man, I just noticed that they don't have the Eric Andre show on here, which, oh boy, it makes me want to like pull an Eric Andre intro where he starts jumping around and breaking shit on his set. But I like my set, so I'm not going to be breaking anything today. But oh well, I hope that they do have the Eric Andre show at some point down the line. But at least they do have robot chicken and on here. So yeah, do hope. So that's the TV shows that I've been taking a look at. Let's look at some movies. I do see Crazy Rich Asians. It's a pretty good movie. I do recommend it. My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think that like it has good intentions, although I kind of found it to be a really cheesy movie. But you're a fan yourself. Good news. Singing in the Rain, classic movie. See here. I want to actually see, since we've been looking at a lot of TV shows. I do see Alien is here. Jaws. I believe Jaws is here in time for its anniversary. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I've heard kind of mixed feelings. I have friends who didn't really like Godzilla, King of the Monsters, so you could let me know your thoughts on that particular film down below. So I'm noticing. Let's actually. I want to see the movie selection. So hey. Oh, they have a coming soon list that we could look at closer down the line of the video. Again, I really wanted to focus more on the movies that are related to topics that I talk about here. Oh, I see Detective Pikachu is here, which I know some of these movies. Detective Pikachu in particular was on HBO Now prior to HBO Max's launch, and then what HBO did was they said that they were going to upgrade HBO Now users to HBO Max. Detective Pikachu might actually be the first HBO Max movie that I review, and even though, yeah, okay, I mean, it was on HBO Now prior to Max's launch, but it is a movie that I did do trailer reactions to, and since it is technically a part of HBO Max, I'm thinking, why not? So that might actually be the first movie on HBO Max that I review. So if you, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to let me know. Oh, so what else here? Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, kind of interesting. I would have expected to see that on Disney Plus. Lego Movie 2, that might also be another one that I do a review of because I did a trailer reaction to a while ago. Especially since I really liked the first Lego movie. I thought it was really funny. It had some great jokes. I mean, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, you can't go wrong. And it also had some really heartwarming scenes. I thought the live action stuff at the end was a little on the awkward side, but I thought overall it was actually a surprisingly good movie. So I'd like to check out Lego Movie 2. I've heard some people say it's not quite as good as the first, but I'd still like to give it a chance. Oh boy, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Another one I did trailer reactions to a long time ago. It's probably the angriest trailer reaction I've ever done because I really hated how cheesy the trailer was for that movie. Although a friend of mine really liked Teen Titans Go to the Movies, so I don't know, maybe I'll review it one of these days. I don't really talk about Teen Titans Go anymore since I feel like I would just be there to bash it. So I don't know if you have any personal thoughts, you could let me know down below. But I'm actually starting to feel good. There is at least a good amount of movies, and even some where I could plan out quite a few reviews of. Hey Arnold the movie, not Hey Arnold the Jungle movie. Do they have the Jungle movie? Let's take a quick look. Nope. At least at launch, it's just the first Hey Arnold movie, which, yeah, not really a fan of. It was my introduction to Hey Arnold, and it got me introduced to the basic character dynamics and introduced me to the relationship between Arnold and Helga, but I didn't really like the movie's story. It was just a really, typical... Basically, it's a very typical stop the evil corporate guy kind of story, so wasn't really a fan. I do really like the Jungle movie. I think I remember I teared up at the end of the Jungle movie, and I thought that was really amazing, but it's not available on HBO Max here, so I hope it does one of these days, though. The Harry Potter movies... And noticing quite a few movies, again, a lot of 20th century, or should I say 20th century studios and Searchlight movies. the name change. I'll never get over the name change. But regardless, there's Bohemian Rhapsody, Slumdog Millionaire, really great movie. I really like the storytelling in that film. The first two Alien movies, Wizard of Oz, Apocalypse Now. Let's see, the three Lord of the Rings films, Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Rebel Without a Cause, excuse me. So yeah, they also have seems to be a really decent classic movie selection. Kubrick's Lolita, North by Northwest, Little Shop of Horrors. I have a feeling my sister would really get a kick out of that movie. The Outsiders. I remember I saw bits and pieces of them. I might have actually seen the whole movie back in high school, but that was a really long time ago. John Wick 3, Fast 5, Fast and Furious. So like I said, even a couple Universal titles have made it onto the service, probably through prior agreements that Universal, and in the case of the Fox movies, that both studios have had with HBO and Warner all this time. So keep going on here. March the Penguins. So seems to have a pretty decent movie selection here on HBO Max. What's the last chance? I want to just a quick look. What's in the last chance section? Oh wow. The first two, the Lego Movie and Lego Batman movie, are in the last chance section, so I guess this means I don't have much time to check them out if I do want to do a review of those movies. See that Braveheart is here. Let's take a quick peek at the coming soon section. We do give release dates for movies like Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, Ford vs. Ferrari, another Fox film, Dr. Sleep. So it's actually a very brief coming soon list. I don't see some of the upcoming original HBO shows or upcoming original HBO Max shows like Adventure Time, Distant Lands, and Close Enough. So let's actually go back here. Let me actually take another look at the originals list here. I want to see, because I'm trying to find Infinity Train, which I think there's a good chance of me reviewing that movie as as well, because I did review the first episode of the second season of Infinity Train. I saw the second episode, wasn't really a fan of the second episode, felt it was kind of awkward, but I heard things get kind of intense with the second. Wait, only the first season for now? Really? At least as far as I could see, they only had the first season of Infinity Train on HBO Max for now. So okay. I mean, I do really like the first season of Infinity Train. I really like the twists, and I thought it was really amazing how Infinity Train, it is the kind of mystery show that ends where it still raises some really good questions that I'm very curious to know will be answered in the second season. Please don't spoil it for me down below in the comments. So if you are interested in Infinity Train, I do recommend that show. It is a really intense and fascinating show with a couple good jokes thrown in there. Me and Gabby really like that show. So that is a really quick look here at HBO Max. So I will be checking out some of these movies for a review. Both, I'm thinking of checking out movies like Detective Pikachu, the Lego movies, a couple of the Studio Ghibli movies, because like I said, I've seen many of the Miyazaki movies. I haven't seen too much from Isao Takahata, so I'm probably am gonna check out movies like Pompoko and My Neighbors the Yamadas, because I remember hearing a lot about those movies when I was a kid, but I never got a chance to buy them on DVD. So now they're here on HBO Max. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. I do think that there's a decent selection. I do hope that there's more to come. This is definitely not, an entire list of the movies coming out of Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network, or movies and shows from Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, and Adult Swim. Let's actually see. At least the search results say. I remember hearing Blade Runner: The Final Cut was going to be available on HBO Max. Although I do remember Cinema Blend said during the launch period, so it didn't necessarily mean the first day per se, so it may come in the first couple of days. So we'll have to see. I do recommend both Blade Runner movies. I think they're both very fascinating films. But anyway, this has been a really quick look at the content on the first the first day on HBO Max. Hopefully, I'm hoping this content list grows because I do think they are off to a good start. I just hope that they launch even more originals. I know that Close Enough and Adventure Time Distant Lands are coming, although they're not going to be available until these summer months. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you personally think of this launch selection? Do you see your favorite movie on here? Do you see something that you would like for me to review? Are you interested in... Have you subscribed to HBO Max, or are you personally not interested at all? Or are you waiting, or are you interested, but you're waiting for some more content to come, like the original series? Because I am personally interested to see. I think that, especially given HBO Max's rather steep launch price, even with the free trial, I think that some may hold back for when Close Enough and Adventure Time Distant Lands gets released. So I want to hear your thoughts down below, and until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.